Hi friends, welcome to North Pole TV. Today's episode we're going to be talking about chemtrails. Now, a lot of people don't know what chemtrails are. They're chemicals sprayed in the air, apparently by jets or something. And there's a lot of controversy about it. A lot of people think it's just a massive conspiracy theory without any basis to it. But there actually is some real basis to it that I will provide links to in the description of this video. When we were kids, like I'm in my 50s, when we were kids, I used to watch the jet trails, the contrails, which are condensation trails, and they would literally last for you'd watch them and they'd last for 15, 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the most. Nowadays, we're seeing these chemtrails, last for hours. I've heard reports of them lasting up to 21 hours, almost a full day. I myself have personally seen them last for 2 hours. Quite regularly, I see them last for half an hour, and it's just weird. It's not normal. A lot of people like to think it's normal, but the jets fly at the same height they did back, when I was a kid, 39,000 feet, because they're the optimum height. Anyway, so today's episode, we're going to go out to a shopping mall in Clarkson, Ontario, which is a part of Mississauga, and I'm going to ask people if they know about chemtrails. I'm going to ask them if they remember the contrails lasting as long as we see them lasting nowadays. I had to wait a while because they don't seem to happen every day. I had to wait a while you can't see them in the clouds and things, but I had to wait for a clear blue sky day when they're actually being laid down. Went to the local mall, strip mall, and pointed them out to people because there was a couple in the sky. I even saw one getting laid down. You'll see in the video. So unfortunately, thank you for tuning in, but unfortunately the video is not the best I've done. I don't know. It was the first time I've done contrails. It was kind of a weird subject, and people weren't aware. I had to explain to everybody. So it is kind of fun, but it's not. Thank you, and have a great day. You see that? Hillary for prison. I think that's probably a contrail. I mean, it's a really warm day. That should have dissipated a long time ago. It's been there for several minutes. There's another one there, getting fainter. But again, these things shouldn't last. This is a bit of a controversial subject. Chemtrails, have you heard of what chemtrails are?
No.
Okay, if you look up there, you see a long, straight jet line, right?
Yeah.
Another one over there.
Yeah.
So the first question is, from the time you were a kid to the time you are now, how old you are now, do you remember jet trails hanging around that long? Didn't they used to dissipate a lot quicker than that when we were kids?
They seem to have, yeah.
Yeah. Second question is, this is the first guy I'm trying to remember the questions. Second question is, people theorize that they're putting things in the jet fuel to disperse across the planet for geoengineering, they call it, engineering the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
Some people say they don't like that idea because they don't know what's going in there. How do you feel about that?
I don't want them to put anything in the fuel.
Yeah. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how dissatisfied would you be with that concept?
10, bad, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and one of the main obstacles that people put up, like one of the main points they say, is that if they're spraying stuff on us, they're spraying it on themselves. Can you think of anything that would explain that?
No.
Antidotes maybe or something like that.
I can't believe that they would do that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you get water condensation, what they usually are in the old days.
Yes.
Water condensation, but that dissipates within a minute, and these things can sometimes stay around for hours now. So I'm just getting the public opinion and see what they think. It's a strange thing. If you've never heard of them, they're called chemtrails, and just sort of pay attention to it in the media if you can, and learn more, I guess. I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
All right? Take care. was a little bit scrambly. It was my first one. I kind of forgot my questions. Oh, I should point with that. Kind of forgot the questions, but these chemtrails are hanging around, so that's good. Okay, here a jet. There's a jet right there. That took off from the airport, so it's probably only about 5,000 feet or so. Maybe even less. No contrail or chemtrail. Here a jet. There it is. Must be going in for a landing. And again, no contrail, no chemtrail. Too low. They got to be up higher than that. Okay, I'd say it's been a good 20 minutes. That thing's been up there, maybe longer. You can see it there. Yeah, it still goes right across the sky pretty much.
When we have something like this, is the weather's going to change?
No, those are from jets, not from the weather.
From the jets.
Yeah.
Holy smoke. No, when I grow up, we don't have this.
Yeah, they'd be in the air following the jet for like a minute, and then they'd be gone, right?
Yeah,
just
yeah, but it's not this long.
Yeah,
No.
now they're hanging around for hours in some cases. As I say, these ones have been here about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah.
And so I'm asking people questions about them. The second question is, would you trust the government to put things in the jet in the jet fuel to spray in the atmosphere? Like they're not telling us what it is, but they're saying they're spraying things in the atmosphere.
I don't like that.
No, neither do I.
No.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how bad is that?
Oh, it's not very good for us to read that.
Yeah, no, especially if they're not telling us what it is. A lot of people think it's a conspiracy theory. There's actually government admission that they're spraying things in the atmosphere to make the sun reflect. Because the planet is supposed to be warming up, they tell us, right?
Now you want to play with
They want to play
with
God.
God. No.
Yeah,
I don't believe
agree
that.
with that either.
No.
Yeah.
No. You know, that it's part of using a lot of money to do that too.
Oh, billions.
Who's paying for?
Billions.
All of us.
It's all good questions.
If you don't tell me, I won't.
You've
I
never
thought
noticed,
it was,
right?
Yeah.
We'll start noticing now, and you'll start seeing these things a lot more. And as I say, when I was a kid, they used to dissipate within a minute. Now they're hanging around for hours.
Yeah, I
So don't know
remember
what's
that.
going on. This man said he'd take the thank you for your time.
Okay.
I appreciate it
Now
very much.
You got somebody else.
Yeah, he passed before he was busy, but now he might take the
I
call.
said I'll stop back, and
I appreciate
I'm
that,
a
sir.
man of my word,
Good
as
for
you
you.
can see.
Good for you. Thank you very much.
You know,
North Pole. Wow. Holy smokes. That's cool.
what can I do for you today?
Okay. The first question is, do you remember jet trails? There's one
Oh my
over
God,
there.
yes.
Do you remember jet trails hanging around that long when we were kids? Because that one's been there for about 20 minutes.
That's super long.
Yeah, and there's another one here that's pretty much dissipated now, but it went like that. It was there for quite a long time, too.
Is it
And
the
I've
things
seen-
that are in the air that's holding it up there, the smog and all that stuff,
Well, we
that's
don't
keeping
know.
it together a little longer?
We don't know. It's either jet trail. They come off the back of jets or something
Right.
that's flying in front of them.
Yeah.
And when we were kids, when you were a kid probably, they dissipate quite quickly, did they not?
Well, it's hard to remember way back, but yeah, because we used to follow them
Yep.
and things like that there, and they seemed to be heavier, but they broke up and displaced a lot faster.
Exactly. And so the second question is, how much would you trust the government to spray things on us that they're not telling us about?
It happens in every race culture across the world, and it'll still continue to happen. Even if you speak about it, I don't think there's too much that can be done about it. The little people are like this with the government.
Yeah.
They're supposed to be working for us. We elect them and everything, and you never know what goes on behind closed doors. The animals hurts everything, and it's got to hurt you too because you breathe.
Sure.
And it's coming from there, it's coming from here, it's coming from there, it's coming from here. You know what I mean? So, and what do? They put more chemicals to
Yeah.
contain it.
Okay, there's a chemtrail being laid down by a jet. Well, what appears to be a jet anyway. And so we'll see how quickly that dissipates. It's already longer than I would have expected from old days. I don't see any more in the sky. Yeah, there it is. Certainly appears to be a jet. Some people theorize that they're not jets, but most of them I've seen are jets. It could be an additive they're putting in the fuel. Some people say it could be just the humidity in the air is a factor. I've seen one really dry days. I've seen one really cold days, really hot days. I don't know if it makes any difference. As you can see, there's a gap there. It starts there. And then right about there's a gap. And then it continues on back over there. It appears to be dissipating fairly quickly. So perhaps just a normal contrail. I had a friend claim that the trails didn't used to be long because the jets in those days did not fly as high. And sounds reasonable, but I looked it up on the internet, and the jets fly at about 39,000 feet, 38,000 feet, because that is the optimum height, and they've always flown at that height because it's the optimum low pressure and all that kind of stuff, and plus for not low pressure, but what am I saying? The the pressure is right. I don't know if I know what I'm saying there. Okay, but you see, that end of the trail is hanging around, and then it's dissipated here completely already, and there it is there, the jet. So I don't know, you can make of that what you want, I guess. I've seen these things hang around for hours. It should be interesting to see how long that part of it hangs around. Still there. That was lasting about a minute and a half, except for that one part of it. It's a strange thing. I really don't know. I mean, I'm not 100% sold that that everything we see like that is a chemtrail, but boy, I don't remember hanging around like that when I was a kid. And I've seen days where these things are streaking the skies. Never saw that as a kid. But as you can see, this jet's flying at the same height those other trails were. The other trails hung around for half an hour. They were still visible after half an hour. And yes, this part of it is still visible too. Other parts are not. They're dissipated completely. Still there. Still there. I hear a jet. There it is. Must be going in for a landing. And again, no contrail, no chemtrail. Too low. They got to be up higher in the atmosphere. That jet that we saw moving along, that part of the trail is still there, and there's still little bits of it. All the way along here. It's probably been 15 minutes since that thing passed. I mean, good for the pole anyway. I don't know how good it is for us or the planet. That jet that we saw moving along, that part of the trail is still there, and there's still little bits of it. All the way along here. It's probably been 15 minutes since that thing passed. Good, how are you? Good, thank you. I'm conducting a YouTube poll from my YouTube station. 3 quick questions, takes 1 minute. You got time?
What are the questions?
It's about chemtrails. Have you ever heard of them? Nope. Okay. Well, if you look up there, see a long straight line, and there's another one over there.
Yeah, that's a condensation trail.
Right, which, well, it used to be. When we were little, they would dissipate within a minute, right? These things, I've been standing there for 10 minutes. They've been there. They sometimes hang around for hours. And there is a theory. People are calling them chemtrails because they think the government is, I don't know, putting things in the jet fuel or spraying it purposely out of special nozzles.
Well, I think that's a conspiracy theory. I know for a fact that that's a condensation trail.
There's little bits of it up in here still. I don't know if you can see them or not. It's getting pretty cloudy over there to be able to tell anything. One in the sky right now. It's been there for about half an hour. Can you see that straight line that goes across there? I know it's looking a little wonky now. It was a very straight line. Yeah, and there was another one before. I'm waiting for it to show up. What these are, they come off of jets apparently, and they. The first question is, do you remember trails from jets hanging around for hours when you were young?
I don't actually remember,
You
but
don't?
yeah, I saw them, but
Yeah, but they usually dissipate pretty quickly, wouldn't they?
well,
Like a minute.
I suppose I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember watching them. They always dissipated quite quickly. Now we're seeing them hang around for hours, and it's bizarre. There's actually U.S. government admissions on their official websites where they say, yes, we're spraying things in the air to what they call geoengineer the planet. So they're trying to spray nano-aluminum, small particles of aluminum, into the atmosphere to reflect the sunlight back because the planet's getting too warm, they say. But this is all being kept secret from the public, or not secret, but it's not being, well, because they don't want us to know that they're spraying stuff on us, right? Spraying us like bugs, really. And so I'm just trying to make people aware and get their opinions about this kind of thing. So, well, the second question would be, if the government is spraying things on us, which is pretty much proven they are, how much do you trust them on a scale of 1 to 10? How much would you trust them to just spray?
Is it the U.S. government or Canadian?
I think it's both, actually. I think it's international now.
Well, I honestly, I mean, I don't know. I don't know enough about it to
Yeah,
make an
understand.
honest assessment,
Yeah.
to be perfectly honest.